Hello students and welcome to Standard 10th Geography chapter number 8 Economy and Occupation. In the first part of this chapter, we will be learning about the economic activities in India and Brazil. But before we begin with the economic activities in India and Brazil, let us recall what we have already learned in our class 9. What is economy? So economy, it is an economic system in which a nation makes economic choices of how to use its resources, how to produce the things, how to manufacture them, how to distribute the goods and services. And economy, it includes all the activities which are related to the production, the consumption and trade of goods and services in an area. Now let us learn about the types of the economy. First, let us see the economy which is based on the extent of the ownership. So there are three main types of economy which are based on the extent of the ownership. What you see on your screens, what we have learned in your standard 9, that is capitalism, socialism and mixed economy. In the capitalist economy, the ownership and the management of means of productions are in the hand of the private individual, and the main aim of this capitalist economy is to earn the maximum profit, also called as the private sector. Next we have the socialist or socialistic economy. In this economy, the means of production, it belongs to the society as a whole. That is, it has the government's control on it. And the main aim of this economy is to achieve the social welfare. This is called as the public sector. Next we have the mixed economy. In this economy, there is a coexistence of private and the public sector. This economy, it balances between the profit and the social welfare. Now given on your textbook, page number 52, is a table regarding the ownership of various sectors in both the countries, that is of India and Brazil, is given. So on the basis of the information about the ownership of various sectors in both the countries in a table, we can infer about the type of the economy which are followed by India and Brazil. Now let us see which are the sectors in India and Brazil and how do they run. Are they public or private sectors? So if we talk about the banking system or banking in India and Brazil, both are private as well as public. Railways, in India it is largely public, whereas in the case of Brazil it is private and public. Airways, India largely private and little public, whereas in case of Brazil private and public. Electricity production, this sector in India, it is private and public, whereas in case of Brazil, it is largely public. Iron and steel in India, private and public, whereas in Brazil, largely public. Health services. In both the nations, India as well as Brazil, it is private as well as public. Education in India, it is largely private and public, whereas in Brazil, it's largely public but little private. Telecommunication services in India, it is largely private and little public, whereas in the case of Brazil, it's private as well as public. So this was about the sectors in India and Brazil, whether they are running as a private sector, public sector, or as a both private and public. Now let us see the economy, all based upon the occupation. So we have three types of economy based upon the occupation of the people of that nation. That is the primary sector, secondary sector and the tertiary sector. The primary sector or primary occupation, it means the activities which involves taking the raw material from the environment and using them for various purposes. For example, the farming, fishing and mining. These are the examples of the primary occupations. The second sector is the secondary sector. In secondary sectors, the activities are associated with processing and transforming of the primary goods into goods which are more useful to man, and these are termed as the secondary occupation. Now, for example, mining, farming, fishing and forestry, all of these activities, they produce the raw material and these can be processed further into the finished products. These are the secondary sectors. The next is the tertiary sector. This activity consists of all the service occupation like transport, communication, trade, health, education. So these are the important examples of the tertiary activities. The tertiary activities helps in the development of the primary and the secondary sectors. So these activities are also known as the support services. Now, as we know what are the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. So now let us classify the given table given on page number 52, which tells us to classify the following activities in a respective columns. So now let us classify the activities as a primary, secondary or the tertiary activity. The first one is television broadcasting, that would be in a tertiary sector. Beekeeping, primary sector. Coir and rope making, this will be primary sector. Jaggery making, secondary sector. Producing blades of the plough, that will be secondary sector. Then we have the constructions, that will be in a tertiary sector. Then we have extracting iron ore, that will be in a primary sector. Next we have automobile production, that will be a secondary sector. Rice production, primary sector. Teaching, it is a service, so it will be in a tertiary sector. Driving buses, tertiary sector. And the last one, providing lodging and boarding facilities, that will be in a tertiary sector. So thus we have classified the given activities as the primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Now let us get some information about the gross national income of India and Brazil in comparison with USA. Given in your textbook, page number 52 is a graph and also few questions are given below. We have to study the graph well and answer the question below it. But before that, let us understand what is the meaning of GNI, that is the gross national income. So gross national income or GNI, it calculates the total income earned by the nation's people and businesses, which includes the investment income regardless of where it was earned. It also covers the money received from abroad such as foreign investment and economic development aid, and that is called as a GNI. Or in simple words, GNI, it is a total amount of money earned by the nation's people and businesses, and this GNI, it is used to measure and track a nation's wealth from year to year. That is termed as GNI. So given in the graph are the GNI of Brazil, India and USA. But the gross national income, it is given in US dollars. So now let us see the questions which are given. So on your graph you can see the blue color, it indicates Brazil's GNI, red color India and green color shows USA. So the first question given is, which country's national income was highest in 2016 and it was how much? So we have to find the answer for it. So let us see 2016. So yes, for 2016 you can see here green color is of USA. Here you can find USA. So yeah, it is approximately 1,850 million US dollars. So the first question, which country's national income was highest in 2016 and how much it was? So it is USA's national income was highest in 2016. It's approximately 1,850 million US dollars. The next question is, comparing India and Brazil, which country has the higher national income in 1980s? So if you see here 1980s, So in the year 1980s, you can find Brazil. Brazil had a higher national income in 1980 as compared to India. Next question is, comparing India and Brazil, which country had a higher national income in 2016? So we have to compare India and Brazil. So comparing India and Brazil in the year 2016 year, we will find that India had a higher national income in 2016 as compared to Brazil. Next question, tell the difference between the GNP, that is the gross national product of Brazil and India in 2016. So now let us understand what is GNP. GNP is same like GNI, that is gross national income. So gross national product, it is the total value of all the finished goods and services produced by the country citizens in a given financial year, irrespective of their location. It's same like the GNI, that is gross national income. So the question is, tell the difference between the GNP of Brazil and India in 2016. So to calculate the difference between the GNP of Brazil and India in the year 2016, we have to subtract the GNP of India, that is $200 million, and subtract Brazil's GNP, that is $170 million. So you get the answer as $30 million. So we find the difference between the GNP of India and Brazil in 2016 as $30 million. The next question is, calculate the difference between the national income of developed and developing countries in 2016. So we will calculate only of India here. So the difference between the national income of developed and developing countries. So we are going to consider only India now. So in USA, if you see, it is $1,850 million. Whereas in India, it is approximately $200 million. So if you find the difference between between USA and India, if you subtract 1,850 and subtract $200 million from it, you will get the answer as 1,650 US million dollars. That is the difference between the national income of the developed, that is USA, and developing country, that is India. So the answer is 1,650. Now that you all must have got acquainted to the various sectors and the various economic activities. So now let us see page number 53 of your textbook, and also what you see on your screen here. It is a pie chart, figure 8.2 of your textbook, page number 53. This figure 8.2 shows the pie chart, and it shows the contribution of each sector in the respective country's GDP, that is of India and Brazil, and the percentage of population engaged in the various activities, whether it is a primary, secondary or the tertiary. So we have to read both the pie charts carefully and answer the following questions. So first let us understand what is a GDP. So GDP, that is the gross domestic product. It is a total monetary or market value of all the finished goods and services which are produced within a country's border in a specific time period. That is called as a GDP. The first question is, which country has a highest percentage of population engaged in the primary activities, for which we are going to see the below pie chart. So we'll find that India has a higher percentage of population engaged in the primary activities, that is 48.8%. Next question, in which country is the contribution of tertiary sector greater in the GDP, for which we have to observe the above pie chart, that is the contribution of sectors in GDP. So the contribution of tertiary sector is greater in Brazil, and how much is it? It is 67%. So the contribution of tertiary sector is greater in Brazil's GDP, that is 67%. The next question, in which country is the share of secondary activities more in the GDP? And the answer is, The contribution of secondary activity is more in Brazil's GDP, that is 27.5%. Next question. Can we say that Brazil is an agrarian economy like India? Give reason. That is Brazil same like India? The economy of Brazil is dependent upon agriculture. So the answer will be no. We cannot say that Brazil is an agrarian economy like India. The reason for is that in Brazil, nearly 71% of population is engaged in a tertiary sector, and in GDP, it is 67%. So this shows that Brazil, it has a strong and a rapid growing service sector. So we cannot say that Brazil is an agrarian, it has the agrarian economy like India. Given on your page number 53 of your textbook is the question. You have to use the following table and make a polygon graph. Given is the per capita income from 1960 to 2016 in US dollars. So first let us understand what is a per capita income. Per capita income, it is a measure of the amount of money earned per person in a nation is called as a per capita income. Here you can find the formula to calculate the per capita income of a nation. Per capita income is equal to total income of the area divided by the total population of the people in that area. So we have to use the information given here of three countries of Brazil, India and USA. From the year 1960 to 2060 is the data given to us about the per capita income of these nations in US dollars. So now let us see the graph here on the screen. So on the x-axis are the given years 1960 to 2016, and on the y-axis you will find a per capita income of the three nations given. Your blue color line shows the per capita income of Brazil, red color line shows of India, and green color line it shows the per capita income of USA. When we observe the graph, it is quite noticeable to us that the per capita income of USA is high, and it shows or it is understood that it is a developed nation. The per capita income of this country is much more as compared to India and Brazil. Now what are the reasons for it? Let us understand. The reasons for it is that the population of USA is limited and also the population is well educated. Moreover, this country has developed many patents, and they make lot of researchers for the development, and they are competent in the mechanical and technological field. And therefore we can find that there is so much of difference in the per capita income of USA and India and Brazil. Now if we talk about India and Brazil, both the nations are still developing. They are on the path of progress in the field of industrialization, modern technology and education. Now according to the graph what we see, the per capita income of Brazil is more than that of India. And the main reason for it is that the massive population of India. The national income of India is more than that of Brazil. But due to the lesser population in Brazil, the per capita income of Brazil is more than that of India. So that is the reason. Though India has a national income is high, but the population of India is massive, and as a result, though Brazil has a less national income, but the per capita income is more. The reason for is that as compared to India, the population of Brazil is quite less. So this is the end of the first part of the chapter. In the second part of the chapter, we will be learning about the agriculture in India and Brazil. I hope students, you all have understood the first part well. Thank you.